Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Thanks for the acknowledgement. So, first of all, I would like to welcome you all to this webinar. So, today we are going to learn about building up a personal voice assistant using Python, right? So, guys, the agenda for today is that we will be covering up text to speech technology, that what is text to speech. Then we will discuss about speech recognition, that what is speech recognition and what are the importance of it. And after that, we will be building up the personal voice assistant. So as voice assistant is a combination of both the above mentioned technologies, TDS and speech recognition. So one by one, we are going to go through both the things. We will see how we can implement them in Python. And after that, we will learn about how we can build up a personal voice assistant, right? So in case if anyone have in between any doubts or something, they can just write down in chat box. I'll revert back to them, right? So let's try to make this session interactive as much as possible. So the first question for today that I'll be asking you all is, what is text to speech technology? Any idea to anyone what is text to speech conversion, or why do we need that? Any idea to anyone?
Sir, I think it's a code which like we say Alexa, like we the personal voice assistant reverts back to us like yes, how can I help you? So that code in which turns into the voice assistant speech, that's the technology, I
Sir, I
think.
think it is speech recognition.
But speech recognition is mentioned on the second point, right? So that is a different thing. But when we are talking about just text to speech, so as one of you said that it's basically the way a voice assistant reverts us back. So that is one of the major things where text to speech technology is being implemented, because we as a human have voice, right? But when we deal about robots, or let's say any machine or something which is actually able to converse with us, right? So they don't have a general voice, even though we try to add a mechan voice to them, but still it is not something that they will say those words directly. A text is being transferred to them, and then that text is being converted to it. Any one of you can tell the application of it? Any application where you have other than this Siri
Sir,
or
Gboard.
Alexa? Sorry.
Sir, Gboard.
Okay. And what else? Anything else where you have seen this?
Sir, talk back in Androids.
Yes. Talk back in Androids. Other than this, like you would have
Google
seen
Assistants.
Google Assistants. Okay. So these are some of the applications. So we'll see some more area specific how it is being used. So let's see what is text to speech. So in this, we will be covering up what is TDS, then popular Python modules, some of the modules that could be used for it, area of application, like we have just discussed a bit of it, and then Python implementation. So text to speech technology reads out aloud digital text, and it basically like taking words on computer, smartphone, tablets, and convert them into audio. So this is something like, even I'm having a sore throat today, so this topic is going to be relevant, and you will see the example of how text to speech can be useful for a person like me at the moment, right? So it can take words on computers, and basically we will be converting the text into a speech. And that speech could be in different languages. You are going to bring in the message to different language. It could be English, Hindi, or any other languages that are being supported by it. So Python comes with a lot of handy modules. One of them is Google Text to Speech. So this is known as GTTS API, and it is very easy to use library, and this is generally an online library. So it uses Google Speech in order to convert your text into speech. So for that you need a active internet connection. Other than this, the alternative we have is PyTTSX3, which we will be doing learning about it in this session. So our main focus will be on PyTTSX3. So it's an offline alternative for it. And in this, you just need to download it, and then it uses your TTS engine, which is available in your OS. Like Microsoft generally provides SAPI 5. So SAPI 5, SAPI 5 is the, like, this is a part for it. This is a text to speech being used, TTS engine used in Microsoft Windows and all. So it generally has two voices. One is for male, one is for female. And we will see how we can add on some more voices to it also. So as we proceed further, we are going to discuss that. Right, so these are two of the most useful libraries. I'll show you example of GTDS also, but we are not going to use it as much in today's session. We will be focusing over PyTTSX3. Right. So like area of application, as in starting, some of you said Google Assistant, Siri, Alexa, Google Talkback, like Android Talkback and all. So those are some of the very common examples that you see. But if we see of some more complex examples of it, then first one could be like visually impaired people. They cannot read the things, right? So at that moment of time, text to speech comes to the rescue. Like these days, you will notice that some of the websites also have this, right? So some of the websites also support text to speech. Like you will just move your cursor, or you will just open that website, and there will be an audio button. If you click over that, it will just play those things. Then as Android Talkback, so in tablets and smartphones, we have this feature. Like if you click over a particular icon, it spell the name of it or contact name like that. So those are things. Other thing, the most common thing these days you are seeing for children toys and also for visually impaired people is OCR reader type of things. Like here you can see a reference image also. So you'll just put your pen over it, a digital pen, and it will read the text from that book. Right. So in this also text to speech is being used. Basically OCR is there, which scans the text into a digital format, and then that digital format gets converted to a speech. Then other than this, like people who have literacy issues, those trying to learn another languages, like this is also a good device for them, like TTS technology, because sometimes we know that we are able to read when we are trying to learn a new language. Then at that time, we are able to read a particular language, but sometimes we are not able to pronounce it properly, right? So at that moment of time, TTS could be helpful for us. Or even if we are not able to read something, but with the help of TTS, we can understand a given text. Like let's say if you learn any new language, either it be Hindi, Punjabi, or anything. So at first we will be learning how to pronounce it, or how to like converse in that particular language rather than reading it. But still, once we start reading it, some of us find difficulty. So this TTS can be a rescue part in that, right? So this was about text to speech technology. Now let's see the code for it. So first we are going to see the code for text to speech. After that, we will talk about speech recognition. So it will be a combination of, like, first we will discuss a particular topic, then the code for it, then again topic, then the code. So 3 topics are there lined up. So we have discussed the theory for first one. Now let's see the code for it. So I'll be using Jupyter Notebook for coding part. This is one of the most like useful softwares for the ones who are actually trying to build up a career in Python, right? Who are just initiating with it, or let's say who are having mid-level knowledge in it, because a lot of modules are not supposed to be downloaded in it. All of them are already available if you use Jupyter through Anaconda. So I'm not getting into the details of those things. If you want to learn about those things, we have free courses also available over a website. I'll show those things at the end of the session. You can enroll in and check out those things also. So Google text to speech, the module name is GTTS, right? So it's an external module. If I just give you a layman terms, it is basically a collection of functions and all. It's a type of a library which can be used for implementing a particular application specific things. So GTTS is the name of the Google text to speech API. Pip install GTTS will be used. So I have already installed it, so I am not running this command. This command is currently being commented. If you are using Jupyter Notebook, then you are supposed to write down exclamation mark before pip command. The reason for that is that Jupyter has a different shell and it has to access the shell from Python. If you are using PyCharm or directly the command prompt and all, then you can simply write pip install GTTS, right? So after that, we will be importing it. Once you are done with the installing it, it will hardly take 1 to 2 minutes of that, or even seconds if you have a good internet connection. From GTTS, import GTTS, right? This is the importing command from it. Like we are importing GTTS class from it. Then after that, we are getting the input from the user, that what you want to convert. Then this line is the main line, which is actually converting it into the text to speech, right? So what we are doing is we are asking the user to enter the input, and then we are converting it into speech. And then tts.save, we are saving it into a MP3 file. So when we are working with GTTS, the most common thing is that it creates a MP3 file, right? It is not a ready to run thing that you can just play the audio on the fly directly. For that, you can use play sound module and all to open that MP3 file and run it, right? So let's run this code, how we can do that basically. So if anyone wants to take the screenshot of the codes, they can do that part. I hope this coding screen is visible to everyone, right? Can anyone just give an acknowledgement?
So we have to take a screenshot of Google GTTS or PYTTX3.
You can take a screenshot of anything, though recordings will be available. Once the recording is ready, that will be link will be shared to you over mail. Then you can access the recordings also later on. So if anyone wants to take the screenshot, they can take it, right? So from GTTS import, so let's run it. So it's asking me the input. Welcome to this webinar. Right, this is the text that I want to write. So now if I go to my root directory where this program file is available, so you can see one audio file is created, right? 18th November 519. So if I run this.
Good evening everyone, welcome to this webinar.
Was that audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
that is how you can use Google text to speech. Using this, you can create a complete audio book also. Like these days, you have seen audio books. automatic storytelling and all that sort of a thing. You can just copy paste a complete paragraph, and then you can just paste it out here instead of input. Test equals to like passing it on as a text, and then you can simply do that part. Lakshmi, this is a command for installing GTDs. And for installing modules in Python, you need an active internet connection, because it will fetch the module from PyPI. So for that, you need a active internet connection, right? So the next module that is available with us is like, this is how you can use it. Here you can also mention the commands if you want, like lang equals to which language you are trying to do. You can install the like mention the language also. Then after this comes is the PyTT-SX3 module, which is the main over which we are going to focus today. So again, this is an external module, so we are supposed to download it using this command, !pip install PyTT-SX3. Now in this, again, if you are using any other IDE like idle or PyCharm, VS Code, anything, then you just need to write this pip install PyTT-SX3. Right, so it will automatically download the module. After that, we are going to import it. Import PyTT-SX3. So if anyone is new to Python, import is a command like in C, C++, if anyone has done that, we write #include. So import is going to work like that. After that, we need to call the init class of it, right? Init function we will be calling of PyTT-SX3 to initiate the process for it. And in this init function, we need to write down what sort of TTS engine we are going to use, means what sort of a driver we will be using. So as I'm using Windows, by default, it will be SAPI5. For Mac users, it is different. Like if I show you the official documentation of it, you guys can read the official documentation of it for more info regarding it. So this is a link for it. You just search PyTT-SX3 documents. So in this, like this is the name of the drivers that are going to be used. For Windows, SAPI5 is there. Then for Mac, NSS, eSpeak is there for all the platforms. Like if you are using it over some other like Raspberry Pi or something, then you can go with that. So I'm not writing SAPI5, it's by default in here. Engine.say is the command which is going to run the following command. So in this, you have both the facilities. You can either save it into an MP3 file, or you can also play this on the fly. On the fly means like I just write down this text and it will be converted to speech. Let me show you the demo of it.
Good evening.
Right. So this is how it will do. Now let's write down some paragraph. Let's just Google anything. And we are going to copy paste this. Like, and we'll be pasting out here. So this is our text being pasted, and then we will run it.
Python is an interpreted high-level general-purpose programming language. Its design philosophy emphasizes code readability with its use of significant indentation. Its language constructs as well as its object-oriented approach aim to help programmers write clear, logical code for small and large-scale projects.
Right, so this is how you can just convert a text to speech. Now here you would have noticed the speed of the pronunciation or the way it is reading is quite fast. So this library also provides you the facility to change that. You can change the speed, the number of words it will read in a per minute time, you can change that too. So for that, like there are some commands. So this block is for that command, like import init. So this will be done like I'm just showing you as a different block of codes. That's why I'm writing these commands again and again. These two commands, once you write it at the top of the code, you don't need to write it again. So I'm just trying to like show you independent blocks. That's why I'm writing it in each block. So to change the rate of it, engine.get property is the command, and in this you are going to access the rate parameter, right? And then you will print rate for it, and if you want to change it, you can change the rate for it. So by default, the rate of this when you start the PYTTSX3 engine is 200. So 200 words per minute it will be reading out. So you can slow it down according to the language you want to do and that sort of a thing. So let's see, let's reduce it a bit. Let's write 160. And then to change the volume, this property is there, access the volume and change it off. 0 and 1, you can control the volume from this, though it is not being used much. This one is which is useful. And then this is the another one which is useful, like voices. If you want to change the voice, so currently you have seen, you have heard the voice of a male. So if you want to hear the voice of female, you can do this. And then like we are just adding on the things we want to read, and run and wait and engine dot stop. So we can use engine dot stop at the end to stop it out. Though this is not necessary, once it clears it, you can end that particular part of code. So if I run this,
Hello world. My current speaking rate is 200.
so you can see in this that the speed of it has been decreased a bit, right? So in this, one more thing you can do is, if you want to have a female voice, then you can access, by default you guys will be having one here, voices one, to access the female. Though I have added on some voices, that's why this numbering is changed for me, so I'm writing 2. So if I run this now,
Hello world. My current speaking rate is 160.
right? So this was a female voice. So you can use 0 or you can use 1 in order to select a voice from male or a female. Then after that, you want to check how many voices are available with you in your computer system. So generally with SAPI5, you will be having 2. Both the voices I have already shown you, one of male, another one is of female. To get the details for that, this is a block of code you can use, engine.get property voices. And then voices basically returns multiple stuff. So you can access voice.id, voice.name, age, gender, languages. Though this is just for a demo purpose to see how many languages are there, means how many voices are available. So if I run this, you can see I am having 3 voices. One is this, another one is this one, third one is this. So in general, in your system, if you are using Windows, you will have this one and this one, right? So these are both English US. But now this is something which I have added on. I'll tell you how to add on this in that particular part. Now, when you require this sort of a language, like this is Hemant Hindi. So this is a Hindi voice that I have added on, because I cannot directly convert speech to text when the text is in Hindi. The voices which were available as English US cannot read it. So for that, I have added on this Hemant voice, right? Hemant is Hindi voice. How I have to work with it is, like here I will be using voice 1. Right after that, my text is in Hindi. This text is something you can just convert English to Hindi and write it there if you don't have a keyboard with you. So if I run it now,
नमस्ते, मैं आप सभी को वेबिनार के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं। बिना प्रतीक्षा किए वेबिनार के लिए अभी रजिस्टर करें। रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए अगली कहानी में दिए गए लिंक पर क्लिक करें।
right? So this is how you can convert a Hindi into Hindi text into a Hindi based audio. If I change this, let's say I write down 2, that was a female US voice. So you can see no output is there because that was not able to convert it into that and read it out. Though there could be another hack that you can use is, instead of writing Hindi text, what you can do is the way we write down Hindi text over WhatsApp, like writing down it in English, but the actual words are in Hindi. Like tum kya kar rahe ho. So if you write it TUMKKYA like that, then this English one can read it. Like if I show you, let me just copy it. तुम क्या कर रहे हो? Right, I have written it in English text. So now if I read it,
Tum kia car rhe ho.
right, the way,
Tum kia car rhe ho.
this is how it can read it. But if you actually want a Hindi accent, you need to have a Hindi voice in that. So now I will tell you how you can add on a Hindi voice to it. Right. So this is something you will not find so easily over the internet also. For doing that, you need to go to speech settings in your computer system. So in this, you need to play a bit with the directory Windows registry. So be careful in this. If you are not sure how to do it, do not make changes because it can corrupt the other things also. So speech settings, in this, there is no issue. Directly go to it part and manage voices. By clicking on manage voices, here you can find out the language you want to add. Benisha, I'll let you know regarding that. Though the recordings will be available regarding code, like if it's available to share, like if we are allowed to do that, we will be sharing it over the mail to the participants who are there in that, right? So from here, you can just download the language you want. So as I have already downloaded the Hindi part, so just click over it and download it. After that, you will be getting it as like this, Hindi and English Hindi I have downloaded. Then in preview voices,
You have selected Microsoft Mark as the default
you
voice.
can listen to the voices that are available. But doing this will not add this to your Python useful things, right? This is just for your speech recognition, which is there in Windows. But if you want to use it in your program, then for that you need to make some changes to the Windows registry. So you need to open registry window. In this, there are two folders. One is speech and one is speech one core. So these folders lie between this H key local machine and then software. Under software, we have Microsoft. And within Microsoft, we have all these things. Right, so under Microsoft, you will be getting it. And after Microsoft, you have the speech and all option that is available. Like speech one core. So whatever languages you download from here will go to speech one core. Right, it goes to speech one core, voices, tokens. So here you can see all the languages are available, which I have downloaded from package. But now if you want to add it to the Python one, the simple thing you need to do is, let's add Hira M or this Kalpana. Right, I am adding this Kalpana out here. So go click on right click, export, and save it somewhere in your system. I am saving it Kalpana, save. And after that, this file is in my documents. So here you can see Kalpana. Now you need to edit it. Right click over it, edit. Now after that, copy this entire file and paste it below. Now in this, what you have to do is just remove the speech, like the speech one core is written, remove one core from this. Right, the reason for this is like in speeches, you have these volumes. But when I talk about speech, in this only those volumes are there, those voices are there which I have added. One is Hemant, which was Hindi one, other two are English. Right, so now I am adding Kalpana to it. So how it will be done basically, I have just copy pasted it. Keep the first version as it is. This much will remain same. You need to make changes to the bottom one. Right, so this speech one core, instead of that, I have made it as speech. And here also I have made it as speech. Let me just reopen it without saving it. Edit. Paste. So make it speech. And again, this one as speech. Control S, close it, then double click over it. It will ask you for permission. Yes, and yes. Right, so I have done this. Now if I run my code again, that is of this one. So now you can see there is one more language added. That is this Kalpana, which is voice one. Right, so that is how you can add it. And in Windows registry also, registry edit. So in voices, in speech, now you can see 4 languages are there. Kalpana is added. Now if I use it, if I want to use, as Kalpana is my ID one.
नमस्ते, मैं आप सभी को वेबिनार के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं। बिना प्रतीक्षा किए वेबिनार के लिए अभी रजिस्टर करें। रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए अगली कहानी में दिए गए लिंक पर क्लिक करें। Right, so that is how you can add Hindi voice to it. Now after this comes speech recognition. So I hope everyone is clear with what is text to speech, right? And how to add language to it. So similarly, you can add English, Indian English accent also if you want to do. There is a package available for that. But for other local Indian languages, the packages are not there. For Hindi is there, it's, or I guess for Tamil also it's there. Then after that comes a speech recognition. So speech recognition is a process in which we recognize a voice and try to represent it in textual manner. So this speech recognition is being used in a lot of application these days. Like everyone uses smart TV these days, right? So you just click over that voice assistant button and you speak it up. Similarly, over Google search by voice, over YouTube search by voice option, all are there. So you can simply just use those particular things and do the speech recognition model. Now in Python, there are various models like WIT, API, AI is one of them, which are generally more advanced of it. This is not just to understand what a person is speaking, but to also understand the emotions of an individual. So this is a core of something we can say a more of artificial intelligence core specific application in which we have sentiment analysis and all. But speech recognition module is something which is quite useful for the task that we are looking in for. So in Python, we will be using this speech recognition module.
So this is the name of this module itself, right? So what it does is whatever you will say, it will receive it, and after that it will basically convert it into the text, because this is the pre-trained models that are available out there. So in this, you can speak in Hindi, you can speak in English also. I'll show you the examples for that. Right, then the some applications of it, as like one of them I told you about smart TV and all. Similarly, Google Assistant in business domain, you can have it, or like old people who face difficulty in write down the things, they can use it, or someone with physical disability who are not able to write, they can use this speech recognition, in which they will speak and automatically text will be written out there. Right, so these are some of the applications where you can use those particular tasks. Now for this, what we have to do in this is we need to install speech recognition. So pip install speech recognition is the module. So for installing it, you need to write down this command. But do remember this, that in this we are going to use the audio of like audio jack of my laptop. So for that you need another library, that is PyAudio. So if it is not installed in your computer system already, you are supposed to download it again using pip install PyAudio will be the command, because for as this library is used with lot of Python libraries which require microphone access of your laptop. Right, so this is one of the pre-requirements of using speech recognition. So import speech recognition as SR means in my program, speech recognition will be known as SR. Then initializing the recognizer class of it, as recognizer class is the main class which will be working up. After that, what we are doing is speech recognition module can work with two things. Either you can use a pre-recorded video, or you can feed your live voice in it. So what we are going to do is we are going to do it with a live voice. So with sr.microphone, so we are calling microphone, like we are choosing microphone as the source. That means we want to hear to this microphone. Please speak. We are just writing down a text message out here. R.pause threshold equals to 1, because as I just click over this execution part, it will be too fast. So I'm just providing a library based pause in this for 1 second. R.adjust for ambient noise, source duration equals to 1. So what it means, basically for 1 second, it will listen and calibrate the energy level according to my environment, so that it can cancel out the noise. Though this is quite useful, but not useful in every time when you are in noisy environment or you are having a sore throat like me. After that, audio equals to r.listen. This is the main command that will listen to your voice. Now r.listen source. So what we are doing is we are listening to what our source is saying. In most of the time, listen command works, but in case if it does not work, you can use record. Right, sometimes it does not releases your mic, so you can use r.record, basically record command. So there is no much difference in that. Using record, you can give a duration for what particular duration your mic will be used. Right. After that, text equals to r.recognize Google. So this speech recognition act as a wrapper around different speech recognition APIs that are available over internet. So we will be using Google. You can use Google Cloud and all. If you go through the official documentation of it, you will find out 5 to 6 API support is available. So what we are doing is we are converting it into ENIN. This is a acronym for English India dot lower, converting the entire text into lower, printing it off, except SR unknown value error. So this try and except, those who are from those who have worked with Python will know try and except block. This is just a block which is generally being used to avoid any sort of error. Like if error is encountered, then using try except block, you can overcome that particular error without halting your entire program. So if I run this, it will ask me to speak something. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. Right, this is how it will be used. So whatever I said, that got converted into text. Similarly, if you want to use Hindi, then the entire code will remain same. The only difference that will arise is language equals to HIIN, means I want my input language as Hindi, means whatever I am saying, it will get a hint that okay, it is in Hindi, and then it will convert it into a Hindi text. Rest, the code remains same. So if I run it now, and whatever I will say, that will be converted to Hindi. मेरा नाम गगन है. Right? So this is how you can do that in Hindi also. So this is till this point. It is what we have done, text to speech, converting the text to speech. Now we have seen how we can recognize the voice. So we have done for Hindi, we have done for English also. So this text can be there, but a thing is there that you cannot use this Hindi text directly for comparing it with the code. So I'll show you a way out of that also. So with this, it completes the part till speech recognition, right? We have seen text to speech, we have seen speech recognition. I hope till this point, everything is clear with everyone. Anyone having any query in between? Anyone having any query? Okay, we can proceed further then. Now, personal voice assistant, main thing is being done. The two processes we have learned. Now it is all about playing with those two parts. So first we will make a small, we'll see a small code, just a general name and all, in which the voice assistant will be calling your name and all that sort of a thing. And then we will see an advanced version of it. So import speech recognition as SR. This is the first library. PYTTSX3. This is the second library. Then we are using import date time. Yes, Govardhan, it can do that. For that, we need to use text to speech conversion. Sorry, we need to use Google Translate for that. Whatever we will see in English, we need to convert it into Hindi using Google Translation. So for that also, we have a module. I'll show you that also. Then after that, just setting up the engine of it. Then we are creating one function, def speak. So whatever text we are going to pass to it, it will speak that particular part. Right? So it will speak that particular thing. So now I am changing the voice ID to 3 because the voice ID is going to be 3 for the English US. Right. Right after that, we have created wish me function, which will wish me good morning and all according to the date and time. So the current timing, according to that, we are using if else block, and in that we are writing hello, good morning, and so on, according to the interval that we are working with. So we created two functions. One is speak. Speak will be used whenever any message I want to speak up. Wish me is a particular dedicated function which will wish me when we are going to operate it. Then take command is the main function, which is basically going to take my command. So in this, you can copy the same code which is available, which I have shown you, text to speech recognition. Sorry, speech to text, speech recognition basically. So with sr.microphone as source, print speak, all the entire code is same. And in this, we are returning the statement from it. Means whatever is being recognized, I am returning that. With this, it completes the part of the basic functionality of it. Then speak, loading your voice assistant Galaxy. So this is just a welcome message when you will run this program. Wish me. So after you load up your program, it will wish you according to the time. And then comes is your main conditions. If underscore underscore name underscore main, this is to check whether it is being running from a particular module or from the main program. And within this is our entire program. Now what we are doing is, while true, tell me how can I help you. This is just a custom message that voice assistant will say. Statement equals to take command lower. So we are saving it in statement. And if statement is 0, continue. That means there is no text is being recognized by that. Otherwise, if is your name, means now generally we are not writing all the text. We are writing down the keywords that our voice assistant must understand. So what I am writing is if condition is your name, means whatever I will say, if there is some text as is your name, so it will recognize it and it will answer my question. Similarly, if I say goodbye or okay bye, then it will shut down the particular code. Means it will come out of this loop using this break. If I ask what is the current time, it will tell me the timing of it. Then if I ask who are you or what can you do, then it will answer me that what it is and what it is capable of. Then who made you or who developed you. So like that. So similarly, you can add more questions to it according to the way you want. This is just a simple one in which it will be answering your queries. After this, I will show you how you can control web browser and all. So let me run this.
Loading your voice assistant Galaxy. Hello, good evening. Tell me how can I help you now?
What is your name?
My name is Galaxy and I was programmed to assist people around me. Tell me how can I help you now?
What is the current time?
The time is 17 hours and 53 minutes. Tell me how can I help you now?
Who made you? Who made you?
I was developed by Gagan Singh at Hex N Bit. Tell me how can I help you now?
Stop it. Stop.
Pardon me, please say that again. Tell me how can I help you now?
Stop it. Stop it.
Your personal assistant Galaxy is shutting down. Goodbye.
Right, that is how you can work with it. So this was a simple one which followed your command the way you want to it. Now if you want to do it in Hindi, it can do that also. So I'm just running off a time, so I'll just show you the example of it. In this, you need to use Google Translator to convert whatever, because as I told you, you cannot compare this Hindi text directly with your input, right? Means whatever I will say, that will be converted to Hindi, but I cannot write if the input is aap kya kar rahe ho. Python will not do that. For that, either I need to use ASCII codes of all these Hindi characters, or I need to use Google Translate. So trick to do this is to use Google Translate, means wherever you are getting this input, after that you can use the Google Translate. Matlab is, like in this you will use Hindi speech recognition. After that, convert that into using Google Translate, you can convert it. So this is the code for translation. like give a input, translator.detect, text to translate, translator.translate, destination is English, source is Hindi. So we are telling that our destination is English and source is Hindi. So if I run it, so you can see what are you doing. It is converting it. It is just a normal sample of it. For this, you need the Google Trans library. Now in this, guys, do download this one, because there are some errors which are currently available Google translation library. So you can note this command. To download it, it will not generate any error. Otherwise, it generates error while converting it. Right. So after that, you are going to run it off. Simply now I have written all the commands which it is going to speak is in Hindi. But to make this, you need to have a Hindi translation voice also. And rest code is same. Now what I have done is your name. Means in Hindi, I will say तुम्हारा नाम क्या है? So it will say what is your name. Right. So let me just run it off now.
आपका व्यक्तिगत सहायक गैलेक्सी लोड हो रहा है। नमस्ते, आपका दिन शुभ हो। मुझे बताएं कि मैं आपकी कैसे मदद कर सकता हूँ।
तुम्हें किसने बनाया?
मैं गगन सिंह द्वारा हेक्स एन बिट में बनाया गया था। मुझे बताएं कि मैं आपकी कैसे मदद कर सकता हूँ।
तुम क्या कर सकते हो?
मैं गैलेक्सी हूँ, आपका निजी आवाज सहायक। मुझे अपने आसपास के लोगों की सहायता के लिए प्रोग्राम किया गया है। आप मुझसे सवाल पूछ सकते हैं, जैसे आपका नाम क्या है, आपको किसने बनाया, आप क्या कर सकते हैं। मुझे बताएं कि मैं आपकी कैसे मदद कर सकता हूँ।
Stop it.
आपका निजी सहायक गैलेक्सी बंद हो रहा है, अलविदा।
Right. So this is how you can use it in Hindi also. And this is something which is quite exclusive. You will not get it directly over internet and all. Right. So this is how you can use it in Hindi, or similarly converting it into any text, you can do that. Now the last example for today, that is the advanced one. In this, something we are using will be continued in our upcoming webinars also. So in this, there are different modules being used. The main and the easy ones are Wikipedia and web browser. Wikipedia is external module. For that, you need to write pip install with Wikipedia. That will be the command. Web browser is internal module. It is already available. OS is also internal. Rest of them are internal modules. So the starting will remain same. The entire starting of the code, the main code will remain same. The only difference in this code will be the if else condition. Right. So this is just in English. This is not in Hindi. I have not made it in Hindi. So you can try that in Hindi up to this point, or I would say till this point, entire code is same as that of first one. Right. Just simple if else condition and all in this. After this comes this Wikipedia and advanced searches. So if I use Wikipedia keyword, it will search Wikipedia. For doing that, you need to use wikipedia.summary command, and it will fetch out the values from there. So whatever commands you are going to do, I'm not going into detail of it due to shortage of time at the moment. If I say open YouTube, then web browser is the module that is used to open new tab. So open new tab is the command. In this, whatever URL you will write, it will open that up. Similarly, open Google, it will open Google, open Gmail. Then this is something weather fetching URL. This is something which we will be covering up in our upcoming webinars, how to access APIs and get values. Other than this, if you want to get news or anything, you can do that particular part also. Right. So let's test this.
Loading your voice assistant Galaxy. Hello, good evening. Tell me how can I help you now?
Okay, bye.
Your personal assistant Galaxy is shutting down. Goodbye.
So in this, one thing you guys would have noticed that this was a Hindi accent, so it was not able to read the English sentences clearly. So let me just change the voice to that one. Right? Let me run it again.
Loading your voice assistant Galaxy. Hello, good evening. Tell me how can I help you now?
Open YouTube.
YouTube is open now.
Right? This is how it will open it up.
Tell me how can I help you now?
What is the current news?
Here are some headlines from the Times of India. Happy reading. Tell me how can I help you now?
Search YouTube.
Tell me how can I help you now?
Search YouTube.
What you want to search?
Indian cricket team. So you can see it has opened that particular part, right?
Tell me how can I help you now?
What is the current weather?
What's the city name?
Delhi. Delhi.
Temperature in Kelvin unit is 296.2. Humidity in percentage is 40. Description: smoke. Tell me how can I help you now?
Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
Your personal assistant Galaxy is shutting down. Goodbye.
Right. So this is how you can make it advanced. In this, you can add on file handling to make a note. Means you can call it like I haven't run that particular part. uh, Not in this code, I've made it in another one. Take note, you can say that and use file handling, write down a complete voice note you want. You can send mails to anyone by using voice. All that sort of a things you can add on by accessing different modules in this. So the complexity of this program completely depends upon how you want to do it. Rest, the basics of this will remain the same, right? So with this, it completes the portion for the things that we were supposed to do in this part. So there are a lot of commands, like you can open up any website, anything you want to do. Like in this, I've added on open main website. So if I run this again,
Loading your voice assistant Galaxy. Hello, good evening. Tell me how can I help you now?
open main website,
Hex N Bit is open now.
right? So you can log into, like,
Tell me how can I help you now?
stop it,
Tell me how can I help you now?
stop it.
Pardon me, please say that again. Tell me how can I help you now?
Stop it.
Your personal assistant Galaxy is shutting down. Goodbye.
Right, so over our main website you guys can visit, and we have different courses that are available. So if anyone want to pursue a career in Python, embedded systems, IoT, or anything, they can go through our main website. So there are different categories of program. Internships are available for 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 months, 3 months internship, professional courses, self-learning courses, and of course a free course is also there for Python. You can just enroll in for that, give a quiz, and you'll get a certificate out of it. but you need to clear the quiz for that, right? So there is a quiz in this. Once you clear the quiz, you can get a Python certification from Hex N Bit. And rest are paid courses. You can look into that, like for Python, if you want to learn such things, artificial intelligence, data science, different careers available, domains are available. So you can surf our main website. And if there are some queries or something, I am writing down email ID in this. So you guys can revert back over that if anyone is having any query, any feedback. Though after this session, a feedback form will be circulated to all of you. So all of you guys can just give us a feedback over that, so that we can try to improve the things that we were bringing on in our platform in the upcoming future, right? So with this, it completes the things that were supposed to be completed from our end. So I hope everyone has enjoyed today's session. And the things that were being discussed, I hope all the things are clear to you. If anyone is having any query, they can ask their queries and all. Anyone having any query, any doubt from anyone's sides? Is anyone having any query? I hope all the three topics are clear to you now. Right, and this session recording will be available once it is ready. We will be mailing it to you, or you guys can just go to our YouTube channel. You guys can go to our YouTube channel, and over that we have already uploaded the previous webinar videos also. So over this, you can check it off after like we can say next week. You guys can try to go through it, and you will get this video available out there also. Right, let me just share my screen once. This, you can search Hex N Bit, and for future announcement on all, you guys can follow us over Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We will be bringing in these webinars more frequently now, and surely we will be sending up the feedback form. So whatever your feedbacks are, you can write down the new topics that you would like to listen from us during the webinar. So we'll try to bring in those topics also. Right. So with this, I would like to sign off from my side. Anyone having any query, anything, they can bring it off, or we can close in the session for today. Anyone having any query? Shaurya and Vedant, you will be getting the video, right? So it will be available over YouTube, and also we will be sharing it over the mail IDs to the available users. Regarding the source code, I'll share that. The source code will be shared. Anything else anyone wants to ask? Okay, guys, then we can conclude in the session for today. I hope you have enjoyed this. See you next time. We will be bringing up some new topics, and see you in the next webinar. Till then, take care of yourself and keep on learning. Bye bye. Take care, everyone.